Did you know that there was a Batman the Brave and the Bold episode that was banned? I didn't, but that's because it wasn't where I live. Now, I said this before, but I'm Canadian, so a lot of stuff like Kinder Egg, some Spongebob episodes, the 16 episodes about gay characters, and etc. weren't banned in Canada, but are in America. Now, the episode in question is Season 2, Episode 22, or 23, or 26. It depends where you look for some reason. In fact, there's even some places that says it's a lost episode, or just not included at all. But it wasn't lost, and it is actually a part of the season. It's just banned in the States. In fact, when Batman the Brave and the Bold was on Netflix, this episode was included only on the Canadian version. The episode is titled The Mask of Matches Malone. It's about Batman losing his memories, believing himself to be the criminal Matches Malone. Now it's up to the Birds of Prey, who consists of Black Canary, Huntress, and Catwoman, to find out a way to stop his crime rampage. Now, before I explain why it was banned, I want to mention why perhaps it was not banned where I live. And that is because the States and Canada have very different standards when it comes down to what is kid-friendly. So you see, America also has very, very different standards back in the day as well. For example, queer characters were not allowed on kid television, but Canada was perfectly fine with it. For example, the show 16 included a character named Nikki, who was a lesbian and had a girlfriend for a couple of episodes. All those episodes were available in Canada, but not in America. So when it comes down to Canada and America's censorship, it is very, very different. So if you're an American fan of this show that is 16 or Batman the Brave and the Bold, you probably never heard of this episode or any of the episodes involving Nikki being a lesbian. Yeah, it sucks. Like, it really does. Although luckily America has very different standards now and queer characters are allowed on kid television. Another example of this is Sailor Moon, an anime, which if you're American, you probably get creeped out by Uranus and Neptune, with the fact they're cousins. But don't worry, Sailor Moon, which is an anime that originates from Japan, the characters are not related in the Japan version. Instead, they are girlfriends. But while countries like Canada and Mexico thought no issue with this, America would turn them into cousins. Which just makes it weird, because a gay couple is apparently inappropriate, but cousins making out is perfectly normal according to America. I mean, yeah, that sounds like something that America would do. There was also an episode of Sesame Street which had a witch in it, and according to American audiences, that was too scary for children. So America banned that too. But it wasn't banned in Canada and most other countries. Although I'm a little confused why it was banned. I mean, I get it's a witch, but I'm sure like shows like Gravity Falls could be considered more scary than a witch on Sesame Street. Now you have an idea why different countries have different censorship. Let's talk about Batman the Brave and the Bold episode Mask of Matches Malone. Now, why was it banned? This is because of the scene of the Birds of Prey breaking out in a song with the lyrics including among the lines of "The Flash is too fast," "Green Arrow is good when he's shooting straight," "Aquaman's fish is less courageous," and that I would like to see Batman's secret cave. There are certainly other lines in this song, but these are definitely the ones that stick out because just wow. It really, really definitely comes across as very inappropriate, but a lot of shows have inappropriate jokes. And I wouldn't say this episode is banned-worthy, as there's plenty of other jokes in this very show that are way, way worse than this one. Just watch the Music Meister episode, which also happened when they're singing. This show really likes musical numbers. The Flash joke is a reference to him being too fast in bed, but the same joke was said on Justice League. Or is it not as bad because Hawkgirl wasn't singing it? Either way, the same joke was said before, so why would that get it banned? Green Arrow's joke is about him being gay, and Aquaman's joke is about having a small penis. So what do you think about these jokes? Personally, I think they are definitely adult jokes. It might be a bit too much for television in general, or just at least this show. But I think banning the episode altogether is a bit an overreaction, as I think they could have just cut out the musical number, or perhaps just cut those lines out. Because it's really only those lines. The Transformers cartoon had literal curse words and they didn't get banned, and so the moment of them swearing was just cut. And if there would be any episode that was banned for inappropriate jokes, I think it would be Night of the Huntress, where Batman is sexually assaulted by Huntress, who I'm really, really hoping is Bernelli and not Earth 2, because Earth 2 Huntress is Batman's daughter. So, yeah, that's a thing. And they had that on this show, and that's not inappropriate, but them talking about Aquaman having a small penis is. And I'm not saying having a penis joke about Aquaman is appropriate, because it's not. But I'm just, when you're comparing the two, between a penis joke that is probably going to go over a lot of kids' heads compared with a literal sexual assault occurring on the show, you could probably presume that that's also not going to go over a lot of kids' heads, as it's made pretty clear what Huntress was grabbing by the way that Batman tells her, "You're grabbing the wrong thing," by going, "Huntress." Yeah, it's very obvious what he's implying and what she implied by her smirk. It's just, why? Now, I'm not hating on the show. It's one of my favorite shows. Well, children's shows, like cartoons, because I grew up with it. But that joke, in my opinion, is definitely worse than the entire musical number. So I just find it very odd that the musical number got, the entire episode of the Mask of Matches Malone completely wiped away from American television when there's a literal sexual assault in another episode that is perfectly fine. Now, the episode, apart from the inappropriate jokes, and that is the one we were already talking about, and that is the Mask of Matches Malone, is actually a pretty good episode. I really like seeing the Birds of Prey work together. And, yeah, personally, if you just cut the musical number, I think this episode will be perfectly fine. But that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Good evening, all you gentlemen, mobsters, creeps, and crooks. Men in tights come after you, and still you're off the hook. For those who scare and terrorize, it's the dawn of a brand new day. You scum can simply call us the one and only Birds of Prey. Green Lantern has his special ring. Pretty strong, that little thing. Blue Beetle's deeds are really swell. But who will bring him out his shell? Flash's foes, they finish last. Too bad sometimes he's just too fast. While all the boys can always save the day, no one does it better than the Birds of Prey. While all the boys can always save the day, no one does it better. No one does it better than the Birds of Prey. Green Arrow has heroic traits. That is when he's shooting straight. Hey, I'm just saying. Aquaman's always courageous. His little fish, less outrageous. Plastic Man can expand, becomes funny in our hands. While all the boys can keep you punks at bay, no one does it better than the Birds of Prey. While all the boys can always save the day, no one does it better. No one does it better than the Birds of Prey. Hey! Batman throws his batarang. What a weapon, what a bang. Check out that utility belt. Sure can make a girl's heart melt. He's always right there for the save. I'd like to see his secret cave. While Batman does things in his space.